Hello everyone, my name is Andrew.
My name's Scott.
And welcome back to another episode of the Beaven And Wright podcast. Now, as you can see, we've upgraded the camera angle. You're now not looking in our faces, you're looking down on us.
Yes.
Like the peasants that we are. Scott, it's fantastic to join you on the 2nd of July. I like to say the date of these podcasts just so you guys can understand.
Just so you know, we are hyped.
We're not missing anything. And let's start to talk about our favourite topic to begin with. Obviously, I want you guys what we're going to talk about today. We're going to run through some more Chelsea stuff, obviously. We're going to talk about our lovely 2-1 win from England. And then we are also going to jump into a Q&A from questions from you guys. So very, very exciting. So Scott, to kick us off, let's talk about Chelsea and your favourite topic of news that has happened. Kieran Dewsbury-Hall has signed for a fee of around £25 million and Michael Golding has gone the other way. Scott, what is your thoughts?
It just means Conor Gallagher's going to go. Where does he fit? We've brought someone not quite as good as Conor Gallagher to replace Conor Gallagher. We're going to sell Conor Gallagher because we're going to make more money off of him. He's probably going to go to Villa or Tottenham or wherever he wants to go. We're going to get more than 25 mils for Keenan.
It was around 25 to 30 million.
I'd say 30 million. So we'd probably get, 50 for Conor?
I think we get more.
You think more? Maybe 50, 60. It feels very much like a money-driven purchase.
Yeah.
We buy in a worse player for cheap. We sell a good player from the academy. That's all profit. That's all good, man. Championship players coming in again. Like, wow. I don't care about it.
I think that in isolation still will be quite good. I for the fee as well. I'm not actually against it that badly.
No, it's low.
I think 25 million for a player on a 5-year deal. He's 25 years old, so adds a bit more experience into the squads than what we had before.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, got a decent amount of goals and assists in the Championship last season, playing with a Leicester team in the Championship, so you'd expect them to do well. And then he's a big contributor of that. I think the same for Chelsea. I think he'll be a big part of it. It means it's one less player who needs to adapt to a system that we're going to play.
Will he play though?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, I
don't think he will.
I don't think he. Well, I don't think he's joining to be a squad player.
I don't think he'll play.
I think Gallagher will go. I think Michael Golding going the other way is quite sad. He made his debut for Chelsea last season.
Yeah.
Remember under Poch.
Just get used to it though. Academy talent's just disappearing off the face of the earth.
Yeah, and it's frustrating as anything.
Very frustrating.
But at the same time, I do think that it's a good signing. I'm happy with it. I think I don't like the fact that we haven't fixed other positions first in a position that we were stacked in.
Would you not have rather kept Gallagher?
Well, we haven't sold him yet.
Well, okay, we haven't, but
if we sell him, then yes.
Okay.
But at the moment, in isolation, but who's going to go? Is someone's going to have to go?
Well, we now have 6 midfielders who are decent.
Andre Santos, Ugochukwu, Enzo Fernandez, Romeo Lavia, Conor Gallagher, and then Kieran Dewsbury-Hall and Caicedo. That's 7.
7. Ooh.
I think Ugochukwu goes on loan for
3 places.
I think Gallagher gets sold, and I think we go into the season with Andre Santos, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Lavia, and Dewsbury-Hall. It's just a very odd signing to make when we didn't really need that.
It's because Gallagher's going to sell Gallagher, aren't they? That's why.
Yeah, probably.
My thoughts. That's just
it's
my
either
thoughts.
That or they loan Andre Santos again, and But then again, what's the point?
Then you've still got 6 for 3
or 5 midfielders.
5
because
for 3.
Ugochukwu goes out. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Rogue.
We're gonna wait and see. Let's see how it pans out. We also signed Mark Gu. I'm trying to pronounce how he said in his video. Mark Gu. Gu.
Quite like saying that already.
I could get used to saying Mark Gu. £5 million from Barcelona, 18 years old, is expected to challenge for the first team, which is, if it's any... I hope that's definitely getting clipped as a thumbnail photo for this episode.
I've got to stop doing that.
This is fun. I struggle to find faces for myself, and you just have corkers.
I should have stopped putting faces.
You just got some corkers in that. But no, I
challenge for the first team.
David Washington was meant to challenge for the first team. I'll never forget Mauricio Pochettino saying, but we have David Washington, and then never played him. I think he played 1 game after they said that we have David Washington.
I will give you 5 of the King's pounds if he plays a minute this year. Shake.
He will play a minute.
I don't think he will.
He'll get at least a minute
in
on
the
the
league
pitch. Yeah, I'll shake
You
it
think?
again. Yeah, I think he'll play. I think he'll get a game. I
Five
think
of the King's pounds right there. I don't think he'll play.
I think he'll come on in the last 5 minutes, in the last game of the season.
If he does,
and
I'll be fuming.
I will come back to this video to retain my £5.
Oh. I'll be fuming if he does.
I'll give you £5 if he doesn't come on at all.
All right.
That's the deal. But so I'll shake it just so you can see.
Yeah, that was the deal anyway. He won't come on.
I think he will. But in isolation, deal's fine. There's a purpose for a job. I think he's not a really high risk young player like we've signed with others.
Right? It's cheap.
£5 million isn't exactly breaking the bank, and also I think we don't necessarily have we have some strikers at the club that are developing, but none who have really staked a claim to say they're going to be the next big thing. So give them a chance, see what happens.
It's a potential signing, isn't it? We've signed potential.
Same with David Washington. Yeah. Same with half the academy strikers. There's a lot of good academy strikers. Like you can actually come from the academy rather than being brought in.
Our academy has produced some absolute gems,
and it's going to continue to. It's going to continue to.
But we keep selling them.
Yeah.
If we sell Reece James, I'll be really upset.
No, I don't think that's on the cards anytime soon. I think if the injury record continues, I think it would. And I also would be like, okay, I kind of get it because you've just never.
Yeah, but then no one will buy him.
Well, they would.
Well, they would, yeah.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no. And then lastly, Enzo Maresca started his first day of the season today.
Welcome, Enzo.
Well, yesterday. Welcome, Enzo. I've heard. So an article came out today from Matt Law from the Telegraph, documenting that a lot of the players he wants to be very versatile, that can play multiple positions. So because he wants the flexibility of going to a back three and a back four quite easily
during games.
Yeah, so I think that means that left, especially that left back role, I think I'm apparently Ben Chilwell's future is not safe at the club, which I'm fine with. You're not,
right? Do you know what? Can I go a little bit off topic?
Yeah.
I just want to talk about the state of fullbacks in football at the moment. They're fucking awful. Learn to defend. No, right. So I was watching the game today. Who played? Holland and Romania.
Yeah.
Right? Every single time the winger, and it happens in the Premier League so much, every single time the winger attacks a fullback, where does he end up? Inside, on his right or left foot, pinging shots in. Now, I don't know, but we were always taught to show wingers down the line. Don't let them cut inside on their strong feet. What has happened to basic defending in football nowadays? I watch these guys try and learn to defend, and they're awful. Basic football, show your winger down the outside, put a cross in, we'll deal with that. Don't let him inside and shoot. About 50 times in that Holland game today it happened, and I'm stood there watching TV. Actually, I was working, but I was watching TV. And and people are cutting inside. When it happens in the Prep, Mo Salah's made a living off of it. Arjen Robben made a living off of it.
But
show him down the line.
Do you not think that wingers are just generally really good now?
No.
Okay.
They're not better than they were back in the day.
Devil's advocate. That was.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's what you hear. But no, I get sometimes your winger is going to cut inside. They're going to do something amazing. They're going to pull a skill out. They're going to cut inside and get a shot off, but not every time. Every time.
I think, and I'm going to relate this to Ben Chilwell, because to go back to the slightly topic, I think Ben Chilwell is a terrible, terrible defending left back.
That's my point. A lot of them are.
He wasn't. We go back a few seasons ago. He was generally playing really well, especially that Champions League winning season. He was one of our best players, up and down. And I think that the role of fullback has completely evolved in the last 10 years. The same with the role of the goalkeeper has evolved in the last 10 years. What a team requires from a fullback and from a goalkeeper now is completely different. I don't think many of the other positions have really changed in terms of what you look for in those positions. You still want someone big and strong in your centre mid, to be a strong defensive midfielder. But you still want a big target man up front, but not literally no sides play with that dynamic, really dinky forward anymore. It just doesn't happen. They always have someone big up there with them if they do. But I think the role of the fullback, and I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is a perfect example of that, is someone who is defensively quite poor, awful, but an amazing player with the ball at his feet because he can open up avenues from the game from getting down the line and
he might create 15 goals a season with assists.
But he'll also ship 10.
But he lets you have 15 as well. So then, is it any point in having him in the team? Because
But I think
he just costs you so many goals.
I disagree. I do think that like you will look for the perfect balance. I think Reece James is the perfect balance. Somebody who can get forward.
He can actually defend. Yeah,
Malagusto can get forward and defend.
Yeah, surprisingly well this year.
Really good Malagusto.
Oh, he was good.
I do think that Mark Cucurella has had a really good tournament for Spain, and I like genuinely has played really well for Spain. He's been their starting left back, and even though I personally don't think he's a very good defender, I think he's quite good. I just think the pedigree of fullbacks is quite high. But is
it though? As in defensive fullbacks?
At right back. Well, no, but it's just right backs in world football. There is a lot of good right backs. England have many of them.
Yeah, but only one of them can defend properly.
I think across the world, left backs are a problem.
Even Kyle Walker got caught out for the Slovakia goal. Sorry,
but I don't think Kyle Walker's I don't think Kyle Walker's like the problem.
Maybe not the best defensive.
Well, he is. Like that's what he's known
for.
He's
fast though.
But that's why he's good.
He's always out of position.
But his pace catches him up.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's a good defender. It just means he's fast.
Well, he wouldn't be playing for Man City starting every game if he was a bad defender.
He doesn't have to defend when he plays for Man City.
Yeah, fair point. But he was good when he did have to defend for Tottenham.
That's why Trent's good for Liverpool. He doesn't have to defend.
Well, he does, and that's why they consider so many goals.
But when he does for that 2 minutes a game, he's awful.
But that's a really small example. I do think I see your point. I
like defending. For the guys that don't know, I like people that defend properly.
Yeah, well,
I'm a big fan of that.
We all do. But I just think evolution of football's changed, meaning you want as many players who are good on the ball as possible, and you don't normally get someone who's really good on the ball and can defend well. That's why they're world class, and that's why they play really. That's why they're like wanted. Like Virgil van Dijk, really good on the ball, but he's a world class centre back. Ruben Diaz, a really good on the ball, world class centre back. You see my point?
No, I see your point.
There's Reece James, world class on the ball,
basic defender,
that can defend, but that's why he's so wanted.
Just basics. That's all I want.
But I do genuinely think that like academy football in particular has made wingers like be able to navigate that a lot better. Whereas I think you now have a lot more wingers who can do the same thing.
No, but surely you would look at the team sheet, right? And you go, oh, playing Mo Salah today. He's left-footed. He plays on the right wing. I wonder what he's going to try and do.
Well, it's obvious.
He's going to cut in.
But he is one of those players who are that good. But that's why we've seen...
Okay, he's really good. I like Mo Salah. But still, try and show him down the line. They don't even try.
I do think they do.
I just have not seen it.
There's no way that they don't try, but it's like I just think maybe they're not very good at defending, like you said, right?
Yeah, there's trying and there's actually just being good at stuff.
But anyway,
sorry, we got off topic. I apologise for that.
Ben Chilwell is at risk. I think that to me makes sense. He's barely available in a season.
You think he'll go to Man United?
I have no idea. When he does play, I think he's really poor at the moment. The last season and a half, he's been terrible. Like I genuinely can't think of a game he's played well in. Whereas Cucurella at least has hit some form at the end of the season, giving him some credibility in the bank to stay. I think that by the looks of it, Chelsea want a left-sided left back who can also play left centre back, but like actually do it. We're linked with Calaflori, who played for Italy. Cole, they don't want to use as a left back; they want him purely as centre back, and that's exactly what it should be.
I like Cole.
So Calaflori from Italy is the player that we're highly linked with at the moment. Okay. And Enzo Maresca's day start, and I think will be very interesting to see how busy. I think the next couple of weeks, while the internationals are on, are going to be busy. I think Chelsea are going to be putting a lot of bids in. I think Chelsea are selling a lot of players. I think as soon as players jump out of tournaments, that like if England, when Conor Gallagher's tournament ends, I think then he leaves.
Stuff will develop for sure.
I think as soon as the Euros is over, we will see a big exodus from all clubs. And a lot of clubs are selling academy players. A lot of clubs are selling young players. A lot of players are buying young players. Yeah. PSR has really made that, but I think they need to add some level of stability to have academy players keeping in their football clubs because it is ruining football for me.
It's a shame to see them go.
But every club, like Kiernan Dewsbury Hall left Leicester, and like the reaction he's got from Leicester fans today has been absolutely insane. Archie Gray went to Tottenham, Leeds, and that reaction he got was absolutely insane. Yeah. So I just think there's an argument that like we just need to protect the academy players and not allow clubs to sell them that easily.
To a point.
I think they shouldn't be worth 100% book value.
Well, there is rules as well, isn't there? You have to have a certain amount of players in your team. You can have
but you can just whack some 16-year-olds in your academy that you aren't going to sell yet.
Squad, sorry. Yeah.
Like that's literally how easy it is to bypass. We've all played Football Manager.
Some of us for 700 hours.
Okay, that's not expose my Football Manager playtime here. But yeah, I think it's different. However, that's all the news we have for Chelsea for the moment. I think we're going to see a very dynamic team next season, a very possession-heavy team next season. And we'll talk a bit more about the squads before the season starts when we know a bit more about it. I think it's more important. But let's move on to England.
England.
I feel like I feel like you should kick us off. You're way
I'm
more excited about
man.
this. How did you find the game?
They were so shit, but they won. I would rather they were shit for 96 minutes, but won. Bring the trophy home. I don't care how you do it. Be awful at football. Win 1-0. Win on penalties. I don't care. I'm past caring at this point. Just win on penalties. I don't care. Be awful. 0-0 every time. Win on penalties. I want to see a trophy. I've been alive for too long, and I've seen too many tournament exits with the best team, Lampard and Gerrard and Beckham and all these brilliant players, and they're just playing good football, and then they're shit, they get knocked out. And I'm not here for it anymore. I don't want my summers to be ruined by knocked out in the quarters. Play shit and win. I'm into it. That's all I'm here for. Just win a trophy, England. Come on.
We can't get away with playing as bad as we did against any of the other teams. I know
Switzerland next. They're terrible. They're terrible too. We'll both be terrible.
Well, I think but
1-0 in extra time. Mark my words, people. You watch. Own goal. It'll be an own goal.
Okay. And own goal is the top scorer of the tournament so far. There's been I think we're on 11 own goals.
11,
and it is the top scorer in the tournament.
Who's the next top scorer? It can only be like 3 or 4. Maybe not even.
I genuinely don't know. I have no idea who the top scorer is. But look, I think that I'm very, very happy we won. It was down to a moment of brilliance from Jude Bellingham. A fantastic goal.
By the way. Ivan Toney with the assist for Harry Kane.
Yeah, we then
Big
come
fan
in,
of Toney.
and I think that my biggest criticism of the game is I think Southgate didn't make enough changes of the starting 11. There's a lot of players on that pitch who prove they weren't bad. And my favourite part of the whole thing,
Cole Palmer, brilliant again.
Saka ending up at left back after Beaven And Wright said he should be for Cole Palmer, and I was dying. I was laughing on the sofa.
Cole Palmer played well again though.
Palmer's our best attacker.
Palmer did really well. He got the highest rating on BBC ratings.
Do you know what? I don't actually think for his standards he actually played that well either.
No.
Like we've seen him play so much better. But he was England's best attacker because he's the only person who got the ball and immediately he drives the ball and and Mainu was really good. I don't think he should have subbed him off either. I thought Rice should have come off. I thought Rice
he did get booked though, didn't he?
Yeah, but I thought Rice was really bad. Really, really bad.
So how many changes for the next game?
Well, there's a question coming up about that.
So
I think we're gonna
let's wait for
that. We're gonna wait for the question.
Okay.
But I think Phil Foden was dreadful again. I really think Anthony Gordon needs to start the next game. I think especially against Switzerland when you're going to have their fullbacks aren't particularly fast. I think Anthony Gordon gives you that range. I think Palmer needs to start. I think that Kobe Mainu and Rice, I'm okay with them starting again. I wouldn't start Harry Kane. I really wouldn't. Other than the goal, what did he actually do for 90 minutes?
Fuck all.
Right. And we cannot
scored the winner.
Because it was put on a plate for him. You could have scored that.
I would have scored that for sure.
Yeah, you would have. So
100%.
I just think there's some real problems with that with Southgate. They didn't make enough changes. At half time when it was genuinely awful, didn't make enough changes. We continued to play the exact same way until Cole Palmer came on at the 65th minute or whenever it was. I'm happy we're through. I'm very happy. I think we'll get through Switzerland. I don't think we're gonna make it look terrible and hard and disgusting.
But win.
The only way I see us really getting out of this is if Southgate is brave. I'd rather watch us be brave now and play dynamically.
He won't be brave.
We know he won't. He won't make any changes, and we'll be sitting here on when's the next game on what night? What day is it on?
Saturday next week, 5 o'clock.
Oh, that's a while away.
Saturday at 5.
Well, we'll be watching next Saturday.
Yeah.
Watching us stink up the place probably and make everyone miserable, but we'll see how it goes. So it's this Saturday coming up, and
I like
good luck, England.
All of those suggestions that you've made. I really do. I don't think Gareth will do anything different.
No, neither do I.
I think he'll play exactly the same team. They'll play really bad again. And he'll make substitutions in the 87th minute, like he did this time.
Yeah. The only position I can see start changing the starting 11 is left back, because Kieran Trippier came off injured.
Didn't someone get...
And Mark Gurhey
Booked,
got
yes.
yellow carded, so we won't see Mark Gurhey start. So I think the centre back and left back.
Oh, that's... Who's going to play centre back?
Esri Konsa.
Yeah, he played all right.
Joe Gomez left back.
No.
Well, he played there for Liverpool last season, so I think that's the most natural person
Saka
to play
left
there.
back.
He might do. I think he might actually do that and start him there. I do genuinely think he'll do that.
He did it, couldn't he?
I hope he doesn't, but
I hope he doesn't.
I hope he just doesn't start with Saka. He doesn't deserve to start the game.
Konsa, I like. Konsa can play centre back.
He can basically do the same system he wanted to play, just the other way around. He has Saka to run at people and Foden to cut in.
Three in win backs.
No, but like Saka to drive and be direct to people, and Foden to be the drifty one.
Yeah.
He can just swap it around and put Gordon on the left, who's going to be your direct runner, and then you put Palmer on the right, who's going to be your drifty, floaty one.
Yeah.
Like, they should just do that. They're in better form.
We fixed it.
We are literally Sarah Southgate.
I'll be Steve Holland.
Heave Stolland.
Yeah. I'll be that guy.
Right. Well, Steve Holland, Chelsea legend.
It's true.
But yeah, let's see what it brings. We'll answer some more questions. We've got some questions about England coming up on the Instagram post to ask some questions. So, speaking of questions, shall we get into some?
Let's do it. I'm interested to see what people have.
A lot of them are very football based.
Oh, good. Yeah. That's
so
cool.
we've got plenty of football to talk
our
about.
area.
That's
we can talk about football.
Watch the football. Watch it. Look, it's gonna move.
We can talk about football. I like football.
Okay. So the first question is from our favourite G Brew.
Gazza.
Yeah, Gazza.
Big guy.
Miss you, big man.
Let's go.
And the first question is, who are 3 players you would have taken to the Euros and who would they replace?
Ooh.
Quick fire off the top of your head.
Quick fire. Grealish. Yeah. Like, that guy just brings something different.
Okay.
I mean, leaving people out is easy because you can just leave out Bowen, who's not played. You can leave out Watkins. You can leave out whoever you want, really. All the guys that have
I
just
wouldn't
not...
have left that one.
Well, no, but all the guys that have just not played.
Yeah.
So, fine. Grealish for sure.
For
I would have...
for Bowen?
Yeah, for Bowen.
Okay.
Chilwell.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
Luke Shaw, because the guy is like dead apparently.
Yeah.
Like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, easy peasy. Do you know? Again, I don't want to sound too Chelsea biased, but I'd have probably taken Reece James. I know he's only just come back from injury. He played like 3 games at the end of the season.
I don't think you. I just.
But
that's your opinion, but I don't think we should have brought him.
I don't Tell me.
Who would I have picked? I think I'd have dropped Lewis Dunk for Kaya Tomori.
Oh shit! I forgot about Tomori.
I think Tomori
Reece James,
had to
Tomori.
be in the squad.
I forgot about Tomori. That
I
guy's
would have
amazing.
dropped Luke Shaw for Lewis Hall.
Ooh,
or I'm going to get or Tyreek Mitchell from Crystal Palace. Because I think they're just a better left back option. I wouldn't have brought Ben Chilwell. I think he's terrible. And I think, who would I have brought? That was the third. It's kind of tricky, that third one, because I don't really disagree. No, I wouldn't have brought Rashford. I don't think he would have been any useless. In a low block, Rashford's practically useless, and every team plays a low block against
Well,
that.
that's why Grealish, right?
I do. I think I actually would have taken James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
For set piece delivery, because I think we've missed it. Put bad form towards the end of last season, but I think I would have taken Ward-Prowse just purely for set pieces, and I think he would have been given us something different in the squad, which we don't have. And I would have replaced him for Adam Wharton hasn't played at all.
No,
and even though I think Adam Wharton should still be in the England squad, I think if we're looking at the way the squad is right now, I would have brought him over for him, or actually I would have dropped Conor Gallagher and I would have brought Ward-Prowse in terms of what the club offers.
Fair shout.
All right, next question. Will Chelsea win the Premier League / Champions League in the next 3 to 5 years?
No.
Elaborate.
Do I need to? I feel like just no is the right answer. I don't know. Was that a yes/no question? Champions League, they could. I feel like they'd have more chance of winning the Champions League than the Premier League. Because I feel like, again, 5 years is a long time. To be fair, 5 years is a long time. If Pep stays at Man City, they're going to be hard to beat over a course of a season. We know that. If Pep leaves, who do they bring in? There'd be too many questions in my eyes on Man City to really answer that properly. I would say no, based on the last 5 years. But then I would say Champions League would be a possibility. You only got to finish 4th and then you got a chance. Knockout football, anything can happen. Champions League, possible next 5 years, but I don't know. League, Man City are too strong. They've got such a good squad. They know how to win it. I've been saying this to all the Arsenal fans. They're like, we're the best team. No, Man City know how to win it. They got such a great squad, players everywhere. They can swap the whole 11 out. Pep's the best. Like, you're going to struggle to beat Man City over the course of a league season, but Champions League, I'd be more optimistic about.
I think we will win in the next 5 years. Ooh. I'm gonna be really confident.
I like it.
Maybe if it is misplaced. I think Pep leaving City will be huge, and I think that will drop them off. I just don't think that team is, especially that first season once Pep goes, is going to actually be able to cope without Pep, because they're all used to playing really positional based football. I think that's why you're looking at all of Pep's players who have played regularly for him has struggled as soon as they hit their countries, because I think they're so used to playing in specific positions. So I think City will drop off for only a season. But I don't think they'll drop off massively. I think they just won't get as many points as they usually do.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool under Arne Slot will struggle initially as well.
I think they'll do all right.
I think that we'll struggle initially. I think that Arsenal, once Pep leaves, will be Arsenal's best chance to win something in the Prem. However, Arsenal don't win trophies. And that's why I'm quite confident that if Enzo Maresca gets it right, and we get it right in the next 5 years, with the age profile of the squad, they're all 20, the average age squad's 23. In theory, in the next 3 to 5 years, that will hit mid-20s to late 20s. Then, if they develop in the way the club has seen, then we can win it. If they don't, then we're fucked.
True.
And that's how I see it. Right, the next question is from a man we know very well, Mr. Rory Edwards. Yeah.
Love that guy.
He had this conversation with you a few weeks ago, apparently. But he's going to ask the question to both of us. Who is the best player in the world currently?
Oh, and do you know how I answered it? No one. They're all terrible.
You have to pick someone.
Do I?
Yeah. It's a tough one.
This is a tough one because I currently don't rate the standard of football. I think the standard of football is not amazing at the moment. And I genuinely think there's probably 4 good players in the world. I genuinely don't think there's many good players. Like, really, really top notch. I'm going to pay money to go and watch this guy.
Okay.
I love Phil Foden. I think Phil Foden's amazing. Asterisk, with the exception of this tournament for England.
Yeah.
If you'd have asked me 3 weeks ago who's the best player in the world, I'd have been like, Phil Foden. I'm sticking my hat on him. Mm-hmm. The guy is a hero. I liked what Mbappe did in the World Cup final a couple of years ago. He dragged it. They were 2-0 down. He just, bam, turned it around. Yeah, big fan of that.
Mbappe's up there.
Big fan of that. I had not seen loads of Mbappe before. I watched him Champions League, stuff like that. But then that World Cup final, I really sat there and went, you know what? He stepped up. Mbappe, Phil Foden's good. And then I'm like...
I have my player in my head who I think I want to say.
N'Golo Kante. Mate, have you seen how good he's been for France? He is still the best.
You can't play in the Saudi League and be called one of the best players in the world. He is, but you can't. You can't play in Saudi and be rated.
I love N'Golo Kante.
I think the best player in the world right now, I would say Mbappe is probably top 2. I think Haaland, just off natural skill set, is top 2. He has to be. He scores so many goals. Freakish amount of goals.
He's terrible at football, though.
I'm actually going to put my hat on... I think Luka Modric and Toni Kroos Toni Kroos is retiring off the tournament, but I think you could class him as one of the best players in the world. I'm going to go for the player I genuinely love watching, and that's Vinicius Jr. from Real Madrid. On current form, I think is the best player in the world.
Yeah.
I think watching Real Madrid play, he brings everything to that team. Okay. And I think the Champions League final is a really good, pointer to that. Under an Ancelotti, a player who's that good flourishes in an Ancelotti team. I do think that obviously his numbers aren't as high as Mbappe, and I think maybe Mbappe could sway me. But I think if you're going top 2 right now, I think Vinny Jr. is if you look at his numbers, he's consistently putting up amazing, amazing numbers.
I will not deny Vinny Jr. is good.
But I think just on form and what he's winning and how influential he's being for Real Madrid, the best team in the world, I would put Vinny Jr. up there. There is an argument for Kevin De Bruyne, but again, just not old and injured. Valverde from Real Madrid, I think, is also another
No.
very, very top player. But you're right. As soon as you start going down the list,
You struggle,
start to
right?
struggle with.
We listed 5. I
Really
said 5.
really top players. You do
I
struggle.
was looking at the Ballon d'Or list from like 2005, and like
the name of list
all
of names.
the way down to like 30th was unbelievable.
I would argue with that though, that a lot of the players on that list now would be 21, 22, and we could be having this conversation about them in 5 to 10 years. Cole Palmer.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
I had to drop his in there.
No, I just think the talent at the moment is not as good as what I have been spoilt with growing up. Even 90s, late 90s, 2000s. The pool of talent is there. You can go back to mid 2000s, late 90s, and you can name 15 teams, and they've all got 3 world class players in.
I do think there are the world class players per position are there. Like I think Rodri is a world class player.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah,
it's undeniable.
Yeah.
Rodri could play for prime Barcelona on the Pep system, and you wouldn't have noticed any difference.
Yeah,
like that's how good he is.
Yeah.
You know, I think Rodri actually is like in that ilk of like Kroos, Modric, like in terms of like
he's not as good as those guys.
But
he's different.
But players who are like so criminally underrated of how good they actually are. But everyone knows how good they are, but they don't really like get the. I mean, Modric won a Ballon d'Or, but
yeah, Modric did get it.
Okay, but I think I do agree with you. I think there's it's a tough argument to make who's actually really great and world class anymore because I think a lot of players are very similar. Academies are not built for players to be dynamic in their own player. They're built to be machines who can do all do the same thing.
You said Barcelona, right? You're like, you could play for Prime. You go back to the Barcelona team.
They just had dynamism. Like players got to be themselves.
They had 5 of the best players ever playing, and then you even go before that to Samuel Eto'o and the guys that played slightly before Ibrahimovic. Henry played for them. And then you look at Puyol, and then you look at so you could just go through Barcelona's team in the last 20 years and name 10 players that are better than all the guys playing now.
But I just think football in general has become less about the players being themselves and more about the
skill is not there.
It's the system.
Yeah,
I think the skill is there, but it gets coached out of them at a young age.
Well, that's what I mean, right?
Because it's everything's so positional and tactical, and like everything has to be really thought through.
They suck the skill level out, and they look for athleticism.
But those players that you talk about and the ones you love were players who are pure footballers.
Yeah.
You know, they were brought up on the streets kicking footballs around. Like, you know, that's
you don't get that anymore.
You know, like, and that's why I think, you know, the South American market is so big in football right now because it's still there's not that African.
They grew up on the streets.
African football as well. Like players are natural footballers, and that's why like someone like Nicholas Jackson. I know I'm going to use him as an example because it's the most recent one. He's
careful with what you say.
But there is no tactical like prowess with Nicholas Jackson. No. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not a well like drilled footballer, but because of that, his natural attributes stand out a lot, like his dribbling, like his hold up play, like because you can tell he's been kicked around a lot and pushed a lot, and you know you can tell he's had that street football. If you look at any South American player who grew up like Vinny Jr., street football, you know, and I think we've got Esteban joining us. Esteban Willian again looks insane. What a talent, by the way. He started a brawl on the pitch yesterday just because he dummied someone in the corner.
Okay.
They absolutely wound up the entire team beyond belief, and they started kicking off because of it. It's really good. Then they scored later on in the game. He dropped another Cole Palmer celebration.
Yeah, I like him already.
But yeah, all right. Next question. If you were manager during the Slovakia game, what would you have done differently to play better?
Well,
I've kind of already said.
Yeah.
What would you have done?
You really want to know? I'd have changed the whole thing. Are we doing like 5 subs? Because I would have honestly changed the whole thing. So, well, again, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You're playing against a team that are not interested in attacking. You're playing against a team with a low block, 10 men behind the ball. They just want to sit inside the area. Fine. Do you know what I'm going to do? I want to put Ivan Toney on. I'm going to put Ollie Watkins on. I'm going to put Trent on at right back. I want to sling balls in the box. Just sling them. Let's see if you can defend your box for 90 minutes. If you don't want to attack us, cool. Take all our defenders off. We'll just put everyone in the box. We'll just sling balls in. We'll shoot from long distance. We'll put crosses in. Do something different. Passing the ball around, down the wings, come back to the middle. Looks great. Keep possession. We created 0 chances. 0. Harry Kane's playing in left back. People are dribbling down to the corner flag and coming back to the centre backs. The centre backs have completed 2,000 passes in the first half hour. Great. All backwards and sideways. Let's do something different. Low blocks are hard to break down. We know that. But they can't stop a ball being lobbed into the area. That's an old school approach. Stick the big man on and lob it to him. Let's play for knockdowns. But if you can't break a team down, which we clearly can't do, we cannot pass
It's time
our
to
way.
play Sunday League.
Big Sam ball. That's what I'm bringing back.
Good lord.
Nah, man. Ivan Toney, header. Harry Kane, header, goal. Flick on from a throw-in, goal. That's the only way we scored.
Dave from the pub comes on as a rolling sub.
Peter Kay at centre-back,
hoovering.
launching it forward. Have it.
After hoovering a flag down at
fine.
half time.
But how did we score goals, right? It was a long throw into the box with a flick on and then a magic bit of play by Jude Bellingham. Fine. And then it was a corner, I believe, lobbed into the box and a header away, a scuff shot and a header and Ivan Toney set up and Harry Kane nodded in. So basically, long throws and corners we scored our goals from. If you can't play intricate football to break down a low block, you cannot carry on doing that for 90 minutes.
Okay.
You have to do something different. That's what I would have done. You put me on the spot, that's what I'd done.
I wouldn't have gone that astronomical, but I think I would have brought on players who are a bit more direct than what we had. I think
Peter Crouch.
I think Gordon should have started. I think Palmer should have started. I think Adam Wharton should have started with Kobe Mainu in midfield.
Yeah, don't disagree. No,
I wouldn't have started Declan Rice or Gallagher. I'd have kept Bellingham on because I think he is the player who brings it all. He's been pretty poor this tournament, but
he has no space to roam though. You look at the games we've played; the teams have just not been interested in attacking us.
And I would have I would have started Watkins. I think he makes their defence worry about the running behind, giving some more space for us to actually go into. I would have played Trent at right back. I would have played Joe Gomez at left back as well. I think he's a more natural left back than Trippier. I wouldn't have played what you would consider the big names, but I think I would have, other than Bellingham, but I would have gone for that, and I wouldn't have really changed the defence too much other than the left back. Goalkeeper stays the same, and I would have just asked for us to just play a bit higher up the pitch. They had no pace. Just condense the pitch. The next question is: if an alien came to Earth and they didn't feel the temperature, how would you describe the cold?
Wow. What sort of question is that? How would you describe the cold? Thanks, Big C.
Big C.
How would I describe cold to someone who can't feel temperature?
Yeah.
What?
Can they feel being wet? Do you reckon?
Well, we can't feel being wet.
No, but wet and cold is the same feeling, same sensation. Yeah, you know when you touch something that's cold, it feels wet.
Yeah, well, apparently humans can't tell
if it's wet or
cold. Like when you touch wet washing, it's just cold. It's like, it's cold washing.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to tell if something's
I would
wet.
have drenched an alien and been like, it's like that.
Yeah, just throw a bucket of water on him. There you go.
See how that feels. Yeah.
How would you do?
I think there's the loophole. We just throw water on the alien.
Feel temperature.
Yeah, but we don't. Just throw water on him. Or you can be like, cold is where like your body can't handle temperature, and then the alien's like, yeah, it's stiff.
Stiffen up.
Stiff. Tiny.
I think you're describing something else now.
Stiff and tiny. My motto.
I don't know. If you can't feel temperature, how are you going to describe temperature to him?
I don't know, but it's a really good question.
Cold makes you shiver, makes you not move properly.
But they wouldn't know what
makes
that
you
is.
stiff.
Yeah.
It does. Makes you... Right. I'm going to stop.
Okay,
I can't.
Nice.
Good question, though.
Ben Greensmith. Thank you, Ben. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I know Ben.
You know Ben. Who can down a pint quicker? You. I hate beer.
Okay, me.
So it's you. Yeah. I any other drink.
We'll do that next week.
Okay. England game. We'll do a live watch. No, I think any other drink I will inhale.
Fair.
But beer you'll have me on.
I like beer.
I don't like beer.
Won't shut people.
Oh, this is an interesting question. If you were each other for a day, what would you do? I have my answer already. I would go up to a golf course and just absolutely fucking smash up the place. This guy is unbelievable at golf, and I would just play just to see how it is to be good at golf. And like, also, I would be the most relaxed man in the world. I feel like I would just play golf and just
apart from if you were watching England,
not care about life. It'd be great. So yeah, golf.
I think I would just
I'd play
enjoy having everyone like me. I've never met anyone that said a bad word about you, and I think I would just embrace that feeling where
What?
everyone just likes you. That'd be such a cool thing. Just like,
Wouldn't go that far.
you're like, yeah, no one's ever said a bad word about you ever.
No.
I'd really enjoy that. And I'd also enjoy knowing how to work computers for a day. That would also be my number 2 thing, because I genuinely don't know. And I'd enjoy that. I'd be like, oh, look at me working computers.
Being liked.
Yes. That'd be great. Complete switch around. It'd be amazing.
I feel like you've just absolutely boosted my ego there. You're absolutely boosted, because I am the most likeable person on earth. No, I would say that I've also never met anyone who dislikes you.
There's a couple, surely.
No, genuinely, everyone loves you. Like,
Nah,
everyone loves you. Everyone I speak to,
Tottenham fans, Scott. After they hear all these.
Well, Tottenham fans are going to hate me as well then. No, I'm just kidding. I'm the most liked man in the world, so you'll be fine. You'll like me regardless. And then we're going to... Oh, another question by a different Ben. Is Ben the GOAT?
I'd probably say yeah.
Yeah. Ben, you're the GOAT. Sure, why not?
Ben-O.
For those wraps up my questions, but I think we can talk about one last thing, Scott, before we wrap up the video. The general election.
Oh yeah.
Is in 2 days' time.
Thursday.
4th of July.
Get out and vote, everyone.
Go out and vote. Definitely have your voice count. Neither of us are too into politics, as well. I want to preface that. We're not like huge political like masterminds. We don't read everything. We don't see everything.
I've read a little bit for this one.
I have kept up enough to know who I don't want to vote for.
Yeah, I've heard a few things and seen a few things.
And I think, by the way, like I don't want to start this huge debate, but I will happily say who I'm going to vote for. I know a lot of people like to keep it secret when they do things like this because of its politics. I'm going to vote for Labour. Gonna just put it blunt. I think that regardless of everything, I think that like the Tories are pretty terrible. I think that we just need a change. Whether they're
going well, has it?
They're not the solution right now. And I just think that it's been so bad for so long under them that I just think like regardless you need to change. And then the Lib Dems aren't going to hold enough seats to be able to challenge them. Reform are just horrendous people. So
I'm not voting for them.
Reform are just racist and horrible.
Yeah.
Allegedly racist. Actually, no. It actually put out that they are racist.
They are super racist.
They're fun facts. They had a inside press story came out where someone followed their campaign with their like main campaign leader, not Virgil Friday, the guy who organises the events and stuff.
Yeah.
And he came out saying like, I'm going to ship immigrants off on the boat. I'd shoot them and things like that, just like casually. And you're like, yeah, okay, not you're not the one, really, are you?
I don't think they were the one anyway. But that's just awful, isn't it?
They're going to beat the Tories right now on current standing, which is nuts.
That's just a reflection on how bad the Tories have been, though.
How bad we are as a country. But yeah, I think Labour it makes sense. I'm going to vote them. I think Lib Dems would have probably got my vote if I think
I don't know
they could make enough difference.
What? Do you know what? So I was talking to my missus about this the other day. Labour in our area where we live are the only ones that have actively come round, actively put flyers through the door. I've not seen anything from the Lib Dems, and I was willing to give them a chance. I wanted to see what they were going to say, but they've not done anything. I've not seen or heard, or I've seen Keir Starmer on socials. I've seen lots of Labour stuff from our local MP on socials. I've seen a little bit from the Conservatives, but not loads. Again, you don't want it to be a one-party thing. Like
you kind of want some competition.
Yeah,
right
so
now it's just a landslide.
really wanted the Lib Dems to kind of step up and show me what they were going to do. But I don't even know who my MP is as a Liberal Democrat in.
Because they haven't profiled themselves.
No, genuinely, no. I know the lady who runs for Labour in our area. She put a nice little flyer leaflet through the door. We had some Labour people come to our house, which was very interesting to chat to those guys. We had Conservatives come to our house, which was very interesting to chat to those guys. We've not had any racists around, so you know.
No way.
They've not turned up.
Oh,
which is
crazy!
Weird.
You have Farage on your doorstep,
Yeah,
then.
Farage has not been. So, but he wouldn't have got a vote anyway.
Allegedly racist.
Allegedly.
Legal.
Don't sue me. Thank you.
Legal reasons.
Hey, they were your words, bud.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So we've not had any Reform UK people around.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank the Lord. But yeah, no, I think it'll be. Well, I don't want to predict who's going to win it, but I think it'll be interesting to see.
It is Labour. Like there is no. They have the biggest. They literally have like one of the biggest majorities we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And
it'll be interesting to see how they change it. I want them just to help the working class people find it is hard. You've got two incomes in a house and you're struggling to pay a mortgage. That surely can't be right.
The only main argument I've seen against Labour is they're going to put up your taxes. Like they're going to put up taxes, right? And I think
as long as they spend it properly.
Yeah, and I think I was having this debate the other day. I was like, I do not mind
if they tax the right people,
paying more taxes as a person if that meant the NHS waiting list isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah, if I can get an appointment at a dentist or a
doctor. If that's what
it's
going to take, I don't mind that.
The kids have a better school teachers, or
or like
things happen.
The police are well staffed.
Yeah,
like if my taxes are actually going to go to places and I can see the benefits of it going there, then it's great. But if it's not,
I agree.
Then I'm not happy with my taxes to be paid because, like, regardless or not, we're going to pay tax for the rest of our life. It's only ever going to go up anyway, regardless, because of inflation. But it's only just when does it go up is the question more than if.
So give us some better facilities.
So if we're going to whack more money into the system, then it has to be spent the right way. If it means we actually have the prison space to actually arrest people and hold a proper justice system rather than letting everyone go out on bail because we haven't got the prison space. Like there's things like that. So, and also Keir Starmer, regardless of what you think of him, like out of all of the candidates, he just seems like a decent bloke. Like just as a person, he just seems like a decent bloke.
Yeah,
who is reasonable, has someone I can relate to in some way more than others. I don't think he's great. I'm not
saying Rishi Sunak isn't a decent bloke, but
he's not a decent bloke.
I feel like he is from a class of people that I cannot relate to.
Just his comments alone.
Yeah,
I couldn't have Sky TV as a kid. Oh, bloody hell, Rishi.
Sorry,
tugging my heartstrings, Rishi. So the ones who didn't have TV or didn't have anything, growing up, I couldn't get Sky. It's like Theresa May saying, "Well, did you have fun?" I used to run through fields of wheat
when I was a kid.
I had Sky.
Like one of the original.
I had Sky.
Square.
Oh wow!
Crazy box. We had to put a card in it and all sorts.
Oh wow!
You guys watching podcasts, you wouldn't even understand this. We had to have a little card that we put in our TV, and every now and again it would just not work. And then you had to send away for a new card.
Like the PS1, like the PS1 cartridge.
Old school Sky.
We had to PS1, PS2 days. You had to put the actual memory.
And PS1, Sega Mega Drive.
Oh yeah.
You had to get your little thing out.
My first memory of a console was a PS1.
Was it?
Oh, as I was 3 years old. We had a PS1 playing GTA 5 in the kitchen, and I definitely should have been playing GTA 5 in the kitchen. Oh, GTA 1.
GTA 1, yeah.
Sorry, 5. That's like now. Yeah. Let us know what you guys think about about it all. And I'm not saying, by the way, I appreciate everyone's going, "Oh, this is ridiculous. Can't believe you said this." Just because it's how politics work.
Just our opinion.
Yeah, that's all. And you're entitled. If no matter who you vote for, you're entitled to. Unless you vote Reform, then you're just wrong. Anyway, so
I mean, you can vote for them,
but you're just a terrible person if you do.
I want to vote.
If any of my friends voted for Reform, you're a terrible person.
I want to vote for Count Binhead.
I'm going to vote for Nicola Milana.
I would love for one of those guys to get in.
There's a YouTuber who's called Nicola Milana, who is running for Rishi Sunak's seat in Richmond, and
no way.
And he's really famous and could genuinely maybe beat him on his seat. He wouldn't actually take the position.
Wow, I would.
But he's a YouTuber running a whole county, running Richmond.
Maybe if we get super famous and we get enough backing,
but his manifesto was oh yeah, if I win, Gareth Southgate would be put as a cheese farmer or something along those lines.
Sacked immediately.
Yeah. But no, it's a very interesting topic. Let us know what you think. And I think
we'll see what happens, right?
Is there anything else you want to randomly bring up, Scott? We have some time to talk about. It's the longest podcast we've done so far. The camera hasn't died.
50 minutes. Wow.
How is this survived?
Let's talk about your camera not dying.
Yeah, that. Yes. You might have noticed every podcast it cuts because the camera fucking dies. And I've now changed the setup so you get this better camera position so you can see us a bit better. And also so the camera dies less.
Which is helpful.
It's really fucking great. So, yeah.
So, positive news all around
Yeah.
for the podcast.
Well, if you have
And
nothing
people are
else
watching it as well,
to
so
bring
we
up, yeah.
appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Make sure you like, make sure you comment. I want to see you guys' thoughts on everything we talk about. We are going to answer questions more regularly, so if you have other questions, it doesn't have to be about football. I think the next podcast, depending on how much news there is in Chelsea, we'll probably talk about life and England and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And we'll make it more about life, and we'll have a good chat. So, thank you ever so much for watching, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure having you all join us again, and see you on the next episode of Beaven and Wright. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.